to episode 20 of the Abomination Vaults 5e adventure. I am Eric Scott V, the DM of this game, a founding member of the Dungeon Scrawlers. I'm here all the time. Tip your waitress. Gabrielle is not with us today. She is dealing with some minor health stuff. Don't worry, she's fine. It's just a thing that happens because human bodies are crap. We are going to go around and tell you about our characters, and we're going to do our due sacrifice to Mammon, the god of avarice and greed, which is to say capitalism. But first, I want to remind everybody that I am going to be off in Nepal for like 3 weeks later on this year at the end of April and into May, during which this game will be run otherwise. But if you want to be part of that effort and you would like to contribute and learn more about what I'm doing and read an exclusive story that I'm going to write about it, exclamation point Nepal in the chat will give you the details. The tech gremlins have screwed me over and I am not able to see the chat as I'm doing this, so I will rely upon my players to let me know if something particularly interesting happens in the chat. If you have a message from me, drop it there, and one of them will probably let me know either through the group chat here or just on screen, whichever is funnier. Okay, and with that said,
you can trust us.
You are certainly there, and I acknowledge that. Okay, with that said, take it away, Fable.
Hello, my name is Fable. I am a story and a purveyor thereof, and tonight I will be playing Kira, your iconic cleric. We have a lot to go over. It's like a lot of things happened last session, and we need to maybe figure out what's going on. That being said, if you are here for your Idle Champions code, that is exclamation point code, as you may see in the chat now. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms is a excuse me, is a game that brings all of the strategy game that brings and unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, popular shows into one epic adventures, including Ferida from the Havilar and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels, and coming soon, Raceland from the Dragonlance novels. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam, the Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox, PlayStation, iPad, iPhone, all Android devices. Again, PlayStation has games. You could probably run this on an Etch-a-Sketch if you're really, really good at it. For more information, check out idlechampions.com, and I will pass that along to Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I go by Savage Barrow on the internet, and tonight I will be playing the iconic Barbarian Amiri. I also run an awesome nerdy website called savagebarrow.com where you can buy amazing apparel and accessories to level up your look. Also, patreon.com/savagebarrow is where you can find my artwork. You can join for free and see all the stuff I post. Otherwise, I will be reading the thing for one of our dice sponsors, Phoenix Dice. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes because they use all recycled materials for their dice. They are always designing and testing multiple types of recycled materials for your enjoyment, raising the dice from the ashes and onwards to epic adventures. You can find their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com. And like, not for nothing, but you know, I usually roll above a 14 when I use these dice. Carried away. Take it away, Kelsey.
I'm Kelsey. I will be playing the iconic Paladin Sela, the real one.
So we think.
As far as we're aware.
As far as I'm aware.
It's been slightly narrowed down, so yeah.
I don't like that I have to clarify that now. You can find me on Instagram. My art is at Antique Cipher. Take it away, Ben.
Hello, I am Benjamin. Always picked last for the team in childhood and in D&D streams.
Hey,
We're winning
we
at
were
this.
looking forward to this dramatic ad
Oh,
read.
Mhm.
well, I mean, Jen
Nobody
is
wants to
reading.
follow you.
No. See, Jen is reading. You want to talk about reading, honey? Because I will be playing the iconic Wizard Ezran, and I don't know if we're iconic yet. Definitely not legendary, maybe legendary children. But speaking of legends, have you ever been to one of those worlds, those realms where warriors use plastic and light weapons?
Yeah.
No. Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice. Because when you roll them, it feels like that you are skillfully smashing the rigid armor of the monster horde. And Norse Foundry offers, I mean, they offer other cool gaming accessories as well, but why would you get them when you get the dice? Or you get the dice and then you get the other ones. And whatever you choose, you can find their store and more about them at norsefoundry.com.
Norse
to you.
Foundry, I should point out, is so popular that they have I think they have 2 booths at Gen Con because they just have that much stuff to move. And very, very much worth checking out if you are at the con. And it occurs to me, we keep saying iconic characters, but maybe I haven't been clear about exactly what that means.
I know I don't know what it means.
Perfect. So, the Pathfinder iconic characters are the characters who were used in Pathfinder books originally to be like the illustrative example characters. Like, this is what an RP session looks like. Ezran says this. Mariziel says this. Amiri growls. It goes into rage, right? But over time, the audience wanted to know more about these characters. And
You're quiet, Eric.
oh no. Cool. Thanks. Sometimes, Zoom just keeps pushing me down sometimes. Yep, that's what happened. Okay, iconic characters. Here we go. So, oh my god, it did it again. Just even as I was speaking, it changed it. Oh, this is terrible. All right, so iconic characters. Paizo developed these characters into actual characters for the game. And in their novels and in their supplements and all that kind of stuff, and it's pretty cool. So that's who these characters are. They are existing Pathfinder characters in the fictional world and in the supplements. And if you want to learn more about them, there's a lot out there about them, including online or in the various books. So
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, the iconics were initially when you were getting into the game. It's like, oh, you want to play a cleric and you don't know what to play? This is Kira. She's pre-built, and the things to go with for that.
Well, all I'm saying is if we're really going to be iconic, I think we're going to need a wardrobe upgrade.
I don't know what you're talking about. I look incredible.
Okay, well, some of us might need a wardrobe upgrade since we're not supported by, I don't know, the coffers of the church. Okay, cool.
You're wearing a robe made of eyes.
Yep.
Do you not
You are
like
the
your robe of eyes?
You have the most upgraded wardrobe out of all of us, I think, actually.
I was
Yes.
gonna say I'm literally wearing like Amiri's wearing stuff she found.
Right,
And,
but we
or
have to be
carved off of
ensemble.
monsters.
Yeah.
Ensemble, coordination, iconic, a group.
We need to get Ezra in a clap fan. As soon as possible.
I'm
Yes.
not. I'm pretty gay, but I don't know if I'm actually that gay.
I don't know.
But what if it cast a spell? Would you do it then?
Mhm.
Depends on the spell.
Probably
Okay,
on a
what if
gust
you
of wind.
clack it and it throws off color spray?
Wow.
Here I was gonna say clack fan of magic missile, but clack fan of color spray, amazing.
let's come on, people.
I mean,
The clack
I
fan
want
would cast vicious mockery. Keep on.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
So
You have used it a few times.
Mhm,
No, that was laughter. Tasha's hideous laughter. Okay, yeah.
our heroes have returned to Otari on the coast, on overlooking the water with the dread lighthouse behind them and the horrors beneath in the near memory. You've escaped with your lives, mostly running dry on spell points or spell slots, and so in some cases low on hit points as well. But you're back in Otari, and all is well.
Oh no, what if
Is
the
it
real
though?
horrors were the friends we made along the way? Oh no.
So, just so I have my mental image of this, you're saying that there's a cliff face overlooking the ocean. Is there a way to get from this cliff face to anywhere else, or are we hole in the rock, straight down water?
So
I thought that was just me and Sela that were on the cliff face, and then we like had to come meet you and like on the
Yes,
path.
so
Yeah.
you guys wrote back, we ran. Amiri jump tackle Sela.
Mm-hmm.
No, Amiri jump tackle Ezran.
But it is a
Yeah.
good question. How did we get off that cliff?
Yeah. Are these our friends? Legally, you have to tell me.
by all appearances, to all investigation, they appear to be your friends. They were
Hmm.
able, well, Sela is very strong and pretty athletic, and she was able to help Ezrin, even in his slightly over the hill state, climb back up to the town. It is
Like,
a treacherous.
every
Just
muscle is
backpack. Just
shaking.
backpacked him up.
Yeah.
Can I have Amiri run a medicine check on Sela?
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay, excellent. I'm
This
gonna
is
roll.
when a blown skill check makes things really interesting. Go for it.
Oh my god. Okay, so actually I rolled a 19.
Okay.
But Amiri has -1 in medicine. So it's an 18. However, after Amiri has tackle hugged Ezrin and gotten that out of the way, she's gonna like go up to Sela and be like, I need to look at you for a second. We experienced something deeply traumatic and awful.
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay.
too.
So she's gonna start like examining Sela, and by examining, it's literally like, you know, just like what Amiri thinks of as medicine with her -1 medicine. So like, you know, at one point, like, so it's literally like lifting up the arm, sniffing her armpit for a second, like, you know, opening her mouth and looking in there like, have you always had that many teeth?
Yes.
I don't know. That's a lot of teeth. Like, you should have lost at least like 4 of them by now.
Well, I lost all my baby teeth, but these are all my adult teeth. Yes.
Okay, we need to get you in more fights. She's
And
gonna
you-
like pull off with like a chunk of hair and like sniff it and be like, look at Kira. I think this is our Sela.
I think for all of the like while there's the sort of like tight smile at the candor of it, I think you would notice that that Kira's hand is on the top of her scimitar, and she is kind of like watching the two of you in terms of response and how you're moving.
What is going on with you all? But
Sela
Sela saved
does-
my life.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need you all to calm down.
It's fine. It's fine. And you can kind of see Sela doing kind of the mental counting that, you know, she does when Ezrin gets on a tangent of like, you have this amount of time. I'm gonna let you run wild, and then we're gonna throttle it back. And you can see she's giving Amiri the same. Okay, you get this amount of time, and then we're gonna throttle it back a bit. But oh, okay, Amiri, a little weirded out, but letting you do your thing.
What do you guys feel like doing?
Sleeping for like a week.
Washing myself until I am like red from scrubbing.
Kira like relaxes in the shoulders, I think visibly. Agreed. Let's get back to town. We can regroup and talk about what we have experienced there, I think.
That
I
I
would like
would-
food.
yes.
I would love to get a chair under me. That sounds amazing.
Sela, come on. You can do better than that. Shay's Lounge.
I was gonna say there's like lots of attractive people in Otari. I'm sure there are plenty of them that would be willing.
Let's walk, I beg you.
Yeah,
So are
my
we
standards are
returning
low right
to-
now.
Oh. We're returning to the inn, I presume.
That's that's where Kira starts walking.
Okay, great.
I think
If
so.
any-
Yes.
If anybody else starts
somewhere
going
somewhere
other,
with a bed and with
Mhm.
food and with drink, yeah, no, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
if anybody so much as starts looking in other directions, there's a like Kira stops walking, turns and stares at them. Stares at them until they start coming back.
We need our post credits. We're just sitting tiredly at a table eating our food. Scene.
Our shawarma.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just need something to eat and sit down for a bit, and then I'll be okay.
So
I
yeah.
would put one hand on Kira's shoulder and say, so bath or food first?
Is it for you or for me?
Yes.
I need to eat something.
Great.
I
Because
lost a lot of blood.
yeah, that's why I'm asking what you need, because you don't look fully yourself.
I will endure.
We experienced a lot. It was not okay.
Same.
Yeah.
There's a
Are you
lot to
carrying
say.
a dragon's head?
Oh yeah.
And the Minotaur
And the other
skull.
thing.
The Minotaur was already a skull when we found it, but it did get up and try and kill
Yeah,
us.
then it got better, and that wasn't great.
Mhm.
I was saying that did look weirdly clean for a recent kill.
It's not a competition, but in the fit of irony, we had to kill floating eyeballs.
Hmm.
Ew.
Yeah. Emma,
not a
do I
fan.
smell good enough to sit with you? I think I smell awful.
I think they've probably seen worse.
We went through
The dead did just rise.
we went through an underground swamp and a bunch of fungus, and there were dead things kind of all on us, and I'm covered in blood. Should we shower should we
Yeah.
bathe before running into other people?
Don't forget that
Yes.
giant ooze thing. That
Yes.
was unpleasant.
Also yes, the weird flesh monstrosity.
Mhm.
That is
Eat it every minute.
blissfully dead.
I think I prefer the eyeballs.
Yes, Brel de
But-
Vankervel, who is the innkeeper, brings you over some. Well, she was going to bring you tea, and then she sees a state of you, and she brings you over tankards of ale instead.
I love you,
Mary
ma'am.
raises her hand and is like, "So can I just get like a tub filled with this?"
Sure thing, sure thing.
Yes.
There's like
I like to imagine the heads are just on the table like a weird grotesque centerpiece.
Kira's just staring at us like, I don't think I have the energy to
Yeah.
to say move those I'm eating right now. But that time is clearly fast approaching behind her eyes.
Sela,
Ezrin sort of
holding the
I'm
tankard,
sorry.
kind of looks at it, looks at the tankard, just uses one of them as a coaster.
Should we? And he sort of smells it, and you'd think maybe he'd turn his nose up to it, but he actually is like, should we toast? I don't feel good about today.
Still alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kira's
Our
like,
friends who they say they are.
to survival. And doing this shit
Oh,
tomorrow.
can I add another one?
Yes, sure.
Let's not split the party again, because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of our problems happened when we did that.
Yeah, it's really like the gods are really unhappy with us, and cracks just kept opening up underneath us,
Mhm.
even though we did absolutely nothing to cause them to happen. It's real. I'm usually a lucky person. This is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Brelda
Well,
comes
there
over
are-
with more ale And she says, "Oh, what happened to your elf friend?"
Just kind of the pass look around. I was like,
Mauricio's not there.
she is probably tired, so she is taking her respite where she can find it.
The irony of this happening, like, just after Amiri said, "Let's not split the party," is not lost upon you.
Oh, man.
The rogue doesn't count.
Well, there's also the point that elven senses are sharper than ours, so like she probably like really wanted to go to the bath first.
She also doesn't sleep, so
I was really excited to show her these, though, and I pull out the lockpicks.
We did find her something nice.
Ah, yes.
meh.
None of you are experts exactly on lockpicks, not the way like Mauricio herself would be. But even just looking at them, you can tell that they are old, very very ancient kind of like style. But the best things, why mess with the classics? Like there are still picks and little curves that you recognize from seeing Mauricio's tools or the tools of other thieves, and a few extra picks and tools that you don't recognize. Like this is a very comprehensive set.
It's not old, it's classic.
Yeah. Oh,
Fable,
it's
point of
500
order.
years old, but yeah.
Are we aware that the scimitar that you
Antique.
got is like the special historical scimitar?
I don't believe there is a special historical scimitar.
Oh, I thought there was like one that you got from the temple
the-
that belonged to one of the Rose Guard originally.
It's not that it belonged to the Rose Guard originally, but it was magical. So
Ah,
there is a likely to a cleric of Sarenrae at some point, but from the iconography and everything within it, it is a magical. It's a +1 scimitar, but there, I don't believe there is one.
okay, no worries. I misremembered, and that's accurate, Eric. It's not one of the like the 4 artifacts,
Correct.
as far as we know.
That
Okay.
particular scimitar is not one of those things. Otari, the ghost Otari, not the town Otari, did explain and kind of describe the items to you, and you thought at the time that maybe he was talking about Kira's scimitar, but no, it is definitely not the same blade. He described a long, straight sword with a horizontal cross piece, a very simple construction.
So so I think the beat of like looking is like, this is nice. I do think that you will like this. But you found this where? Just down there in the hole in the ground that you
corpse of
fell
one
in?
of the dead Rose Guards.
We found Otari, the person.
Wait, there's
Well-
a person?
And
Oh.
he's still there.
He's got to be
He's-
like older than you are.
He's actually the same age he was when he died.
Wait, so you and Otari are the same age?
That is improbable, and I will not acknowledge that comment.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I was there.
So
yes,
I just
can
wanna-
verify this.
Before the next thing, I just want to point out something about the tools. So the thieves' tools, they are very dark gunmetal gray, and they appear to shimmer as if slightly wet, regardless of how dry they are to the touch.
I think
I'm sorry, go ahead, Fable.
like Kira kind of like extends a hand to like see them.
It's interesting as your hand approaches, like the shadow of your hand over the table touches the tools and they kind of rattle a little bit.
So I haven't had the chance to investigate these properly, and I will. And I will give them to Mauricio. However, they're clearly special because, according to Otari, one of the original Rose Guard, who has been constantly tortured for the last 500 years by Belcora,
Oh.
we cannot proceed further into her lair to defeat her until we collect all 4 of the Rose Guard's artifacts. And this is one of them. I will find out what it does, but I need to talk to our friends at the bookstore because they have the second one in a case.
Okay.
Well, so hang on a second so I understand how this works. So we cannot go further to confront the evil ghost lady unless we collect these 4 thingies. But like if we do that, like why is she able to send things out to attack us, but we can't do that to her? Like, how does that work, Magic Man?
Would you like some clarification from what from the conversation with Otari, Ezrin?
Give me just a second, and then yes.
Yes. Go for it.
I don't know, Amiri. What I do know is that where we just were was bad, and then it took a real turn from bad into what the actual living hell is down there. And I am not okay. So I am not even.
It was almost like we were underleveled for an area.
What we were was not prepared for.
And also there was just 2 of us.
How much power and malice is buried under that pile of rock.
Okay. I think where we start, you tell us what you experienced. We will share what we did. But it seems like you have run into something very particular, and you fell deeper than we did.
Yes, I'm sorry. I was so focused on Otari and how are you?
We will revisit that when we have discussed what we went through. Again, we will endure.
Okay.
What have you experienced?
Now I'll take the clarification if that's okay, Eric.
Okay. So basically, what Otari told you, and Ezrin, in short, which is to say, over the next hour or so, Ezrin relates everything that happened to him in the depths of the dungeon. And you can correct me on any of this that you would like to not tell them about, Ben. I just
I'll tell them
assume.
everything.
Okay. Sela and Ezrin fell into some deeper layer of the dungeon. Probably not the 3rd layer, probably deeper than that. Just based on your guess, based on where you emerged, and like that the terrain was nothing like what you found on the library level.
We pulled a Stardew Valley Skull Caverns. Here's a hole in the ground, just fall in, see how far you go.
Yeah, sure. What could go wrong? I'm sure I'm level appropriate for oh no. Anyway, you were attacked by the will-o-wisps that were connected to Belcora. You caught a sight of Belcora. I don't know how much you described about your psychic interaction with the Ghost
Everything.
Queen. Okay.
Everything.
Yeah, they shouted at each other, and they were definitely like very antagonistic toward each other. Otari tried to slay the wisps with his sword. That was kind of ineffective, but he was able to drain their essence away with his ghostly touch. He then said that he had been trapped under the dungeons, which the Rose Guard never knew about. Like, they just knew there was a castle here, and they fought Belcora, who was coming from a meeting, obviously upset that they were interrupting her, and then there was a big fight. Like she walked out of a managerial meeting where she was shouting at her underlings. That's what it seemed like to him. Um, and then he perished during that fight, or at least the Rose Guard thought he did. What really happened is he ended up deeper in the dungeon, tried to find a way out, but didn't make it, and he got trapped on this little island in one of the deeper layers.
He was poisoned, correct?
Yes, he was poisoned and growing weaker and bleeding and had no way of healing himself. Right.
I'll jump in there if I may.
Mm-hmm.
So I will turn, especially to, I feel, Sela and Kira, and be like, and reiterate, it's like, and he's been there every day since. He can't get out yet.
And Ezra,
I have an idea.
Yeah, Ezra did suggest
So-
taking the body out, and that might allow him to be free. But Otari
By
said
the
that wouldn't
gods,
happen.
give us
Yeah.
a second to roleplay.
Sure, go ahead.
So if I'm understanding this correctly, what you're saying is that the thing that requires the four things is something that's keeping him there, not something that is keeping Balcora there. Because
No, let's keep. I'm
Okay.
sorry. What?
I was
It's
gonna say,
Balcora.
like, my worry would have been like, we get the things, and then we end up falling into her Grandmaster evil plan, where, you know, now she unleashes everything on the town because there's nothing holding her back anymore, and that seems bad.
And that could be what happens. I am not 100% sure. I'm sure that with a little bit more time, we could figure it out. But what I know is that she is what's keeping him there.
Why?
Killing
would-
her is what will free him.
That's what he said. Yes.
Maybe.
So, okay. She is. Belcora has bound him. So the only concern that I have, Emiri, of this is that why would she want to leave?
I don't know, like, it seemed like all of those things, like, when flooded the town to, like, attack them, and, you know, the not Sela seemed interested in pretending to be our friend and, like, bamboozling us.
Wait,
and,
Kira,
like,
Kira kind of like looks
maybe-
at Seal's like, we'll get to
Look,
that.
and maybe, you know, maybe that's their plan, is they want to, like, send all those, like, ghosty dudes into town to take over their bodies and become not versions of the townspeople, and then just spread all of that everywhere. I don't know how ghosts work.
Can we back up to the not seal up? What?
We can, but I need to stress that, Amiri, you're right in that we already know that tower, that thing that happened is gonna happen again. We know it will. It's going to send out another one of those beams and raise the dead or cause more suffering in this town. So I can only surmise that getting to Belcora is what will stop that and help these people.
Yes.
But at the same time, I agree that it's worth having caution, because I've known some manipulative, awful people, and forcing you to feel urgent is exactly how they get you to do what you want, what they want you to do.
A reminder that we went charging headlong through this space and met trap after trap after trap. She might want out vaguely, but there is certainly whatever she's doing, she's where she is for one. She is there for a reason. She must be excised if this taint is to be destroyed. But if we are to release this seal, she will either break it from the inside if we let her. I mean, she is clearly still has machinations, and I don't think those machinations are idle. The question is, why would she want to leave is not necessarily the idea of, like, she is cozy where she is, but what is her purpose in doing so? So,
Hmm.
the So you fell into the hole. You fought these things that seemed like will-o-wisps, but were eyes that were connected to Belcora.
Saw me, and I saw her, and I
We
wouldn't
made-
call it conversing. Celia, you tell me
I-
what you saw.
She definitely got into his head in the sense that there was a brief moment where I'm pretty sure it was her looking out of his eyes. He got better,
Mm.
but
These
we
eyes, to be clear,
yeah.
not these.
Yeah.
You
We
hope.
only made it through that thanks to the fact that we ran into the very helpful ghost of Otari, who turns out by our powers combined we were able to push those things back.
It took almost everything we had just
Oh
to
yeah, yeah.
defeat her floating eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Were you able
This
to figure out like any weaknesses or anything that those things had?
Well, they're incorporeal, and I remember reading somewhere that the only thing that you can fight incorporeal things is, like magical force, like not physical force. You can't crush them with like a club. It has to be like a magical force. So that seemed to be effective, but that's consistent with most sort of ghostly apparitions.
Channeling divinity sure seemed to help, but I could only do that so many times.
I would
Yes,
also
so-
remind you, you did determine that they were unaffected by the psychic attack that you made.
Yes.
okay. So she's been tormenting Otari. She was connected to Otari. Otari was aware that she was awake, which means there was a point where she wasn't. Because if he is aware that if he was aware that he is aware because she is, there is a space where that was not the case. So she has not been conscious of this sort the whole time. She's waking up. So we are on a timer.
Mm.
We
Yes.
don't know necessarily what that is. That would technically require Otari to know how long that's been, and I'm not sure that I will trust a ghost 500 years to understand the specifics of dates when you've been sitting in a
Yeah.
cave in a hole in the ground.
He clearly was having issue with that, and he admitted as such.
The Rose Guard, so the icons of the Rose Guard were the companion blade. There was Otari's lockpicks. There is the signet of their cleric.
Book of the Wizard.
And then there was Moralbent's, not Moralbent's, Zarmavdian's grimoire.
Which is currently in the possession of Moral Bent.
Yes. It was like Moralbent has it, but it belonged to Zarmavdian. So this.
Here's the thing, is that barrier might be the only thing that is keeping her in there. It was created by the Rose Guard. They did it to contain her.
Okay.
But it's also keeping us from getting to her. So I'm not 100% sure what to do. I think, Kira, I want to help Otari. I feel like he could really give us the knowledge that we need to do this. But
Also, I don't want to leave him down there.
yeah, and
I got an idea.
Hmm?
Okay.
So do I, but go ahead, Amiri.
Well, so it's not related to Otari, but it's related to Valcora, which is like, so like you and Kira are like magical people, but in different ways, right? So like hear me out, all right? So if I am tracking some sort of like quarry, right? Like, and I know, and I have tracked it to its lair, and I know that as soon as I smoke it out, it's gonna like, scatter everywhere, and I'm not gonna be able to catch it as soon as it leaves. Like, I'll enact a trap, like some sort of net or something on that entrance, and make sure it goes exactly where I want it to go. So what if you guys made some sort of like magic holy trap or something, so that way can like, instead, like, we drop the barrier thing, and then she like goes out of there and is like, ha 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 ha, now I can enact my evil plan against Otari. Only, she runs smack into your net. Like, that would suck for her, right? And then we can kill her.
I love everything about you, Amiri.
Me
I
too.
think
Unfortunately, I think if that beam is any indication, I'm not sure a physical barrier is going to be what helps because it seems to be, I don't know, it feels like
Well,
teleportation magic to me.
that's what
I
I'm
really
saying.
need to
Like,
read that book.
if like, we have time now for you guys to like go and look at the books and stuff and figure out if there's a way to like inverse that. So instead of letting her bamf away, it instead locks her back where she is or something. I don't know. I don't know how magic works. This is where I come up with the genius idea, and then you guys figure out how to do that.
But this
I-
is why I love your mind because it's honestly the most direct ideas. That's how magic works. It's just different ways to get there. So
Kira kind of turns towards Ezran. What's the over-under on making a magic circle that big, pointed inwards?
about, I don't know, 11 million gold and 8 months of work.
That feels conservative. We might need a mage's college. I think the idea of making a barrier and seeing if there is a way that we can subvert certain rules to slow her response would be good. I do not want to make it seem as though I discredit this. I think there's also the idea of we must bear in mind that while she is itching to leave, certainly, this is also somebody who has been eager to leave and smart. This is an intelligent prey. I don't think she has her face pressed against the door ready to get out, and more so, she has been able to affect the world around her, even through her binding. I would be willing to bet she has trap in preparation for when she is able to spring free. We would need to try and make plans around it, but bluntly put, she has had 500 years of prep time that we do not.
Your words have wisdom as always, but make no mistake, Kira. She is a being that craves power. And we have seen the evidence of what she is willing to go through and the lengths that she will go to achieve power. And then I take that like book of like horrible like necromantic stuff and I like slap it on the table and I'm like, this is what just one of her underlings was willing to do. She is capable of far more. And trust me when I know. I've lived my life with people that are hungry for power. She will not stop. She will come.
Yes, I do not think that she is going to just wait down there. I warned against the idea of treating her. She is desperate, yes. She is also intelligent. I would not like to risk the previous concept of rushing into a plan. You see that the Rose Guard did just this, and well, you found one of them.
I agree.
The rest of them have erected statues and towns in the honor and lay in well-beloved, but graves here, and Belcora remains an issue, sealed now for us to handle.
If you agree, I think the thing I have to do is I have to get into one of the Rose Guard's books. I have to get into that grimoire. Because maybe they will have information that would help us in this. But I don't. But it's one of the artifacts. So I won't do it without the agreement and blessing of all of my companions.
I mean, would you reading the book like screw up its ability to do whatever it is it's doing right now?
I don't know, but I promise I would be careful and check before I touch it. And
Well,
talk
yeah.
to its owner about exactly what it is and why we would want to do it, and have enlist his assistance. Maybe even Marin's.
I do think that whatever information we can get beforehand is going to be important. And I want to stress that there is no situation wherein which we do not break this barrier and go diving on, or pass this responsibility off to someone else for who knows how many lives in the interim.
No, we're in this.
So it must be us that breaks this barrier. Yes, this releases her in a way. It loosens her shackles. But also it gets us to her. If we let her finish her plan, she wins. She's done it. We must interrupt her in a form or fashion. But rushing headlong is eager and adventurous foolishness. We must be mindful, careful, but decisive. You ready your sword before you swing it. Somebody who cuts from the shoulder without aligning the edge does nothing but damage their own weapon and ensure their own doom.
I agree.
We
And
should, I believe, collect the artifacts of the Rose Guard and work to break the barrier, but also you have stumbled upon a small portion of a lower floor. Who knows what else lies beneath that can be of aid to us? The Rose Guard apparently did not see anything of this. So
Did Otari say if if he was the only one trapped down there, or like does he have like other friends that are stuck too?
It's just him.
Eric, help.
He didn't mention anyone else trapped down there with him.
Okay, that was my memory.
Yeah.
Just wanted to validate.
Seemed
In
like it
fact,
was just
he
him.
specifically said that the rest of the Rose Guard thought he was dead and kind of just left.
Well, it sounds like we know at least what our first next steps are, but what was all that stuff about Sela?
Yeah, what was it
What-
about not Sela? I was kind of waiting
what-
for you guys to
what-
finish. Can we go back to that?
Okay. Was there anything else that you all incurred in your space? And then we can get into what. Like she
You have this
looks over,
brief memory of
looks
like
over
this
at-
wolf.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we
I
look
was,
up
I was
werewolves.
big freaking wolf, maybe a
Yeah.
werewolf. I don't
I
know
mean-
how you would tell if it was a werewolf just in wolf. Do they
Sela
go
saved my life
turn
from
into
them.
full wolves, or are they like a wolf man? Like
Okay.
what's the specifics of
Big.
this?
Wolf.
It was a very large wolf.
Okay.
shoot.
Shove my morning star straight in its mouth.
It
There were
was
two.
so awesome.
There were two. It was
Wow.
I would
okay.
like to
I'd be
not
dead.
do that a second time without a rest first, you know.
You do recall the mysterious message saying, "I sent Ezran through the wolf cave."
Yeah, as like Kira looks over me. That explains Wolf Cave.
Yeah. Maybe we should have moved quicker there. I'm really sorry, guys. We were all having a moment.
Or
And
like 7.
There was a
yeah,
Minotaur
yeah.
involved too.
There was a whole lot to process, and in hindsight, perhaps we should have rushed a bit faster to when we saw Wolf Cave. But
Like,
maybe it was a metaphor.
It was not a metaphor, even remotely.
I mean, we know that now.
It was a cave. There were at least 2 wolves in it. We saw 2. To be fair, perhaps there is more, and some were just absent.
Sadly, the name of the cave was more literal than the directions we got from the very imprecise ghosts. But
yeah,
back to Sela.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what is this about? Not Sela.
We watched you melt.
Okay.
When?
That was decidedly not okay.
But she was with me. When?
No, this was not Sela. Who was with us?
I don't know if that's common. Can you say that again?
Do you want the quick run through?
Sure.
All right. Well, you all fell down a crevasse.
Yes, I remember that part.
Yes, that should be the last part of this, you remember. We
Yes.
went down a little bit further to see if we could necessarily figure out what is going on. We figured out what the water dragon that was spoken of,
Mary points at the head.
Yeah.
So it was a literal dragon. It was actually, I didn't think it was going to be a real dragon.
Well,
not gonna lie, I thought it was going to be maybe like a big lizard folk.
Is the dragon like leaking juices and blood onto the table?
Not at this point, but like I
feel like
imagine
it's got
there
its
will
leaking
be
gun.
a little bit of a stain when we lift it up.
so we ran into this. We handled this. From there,
In point of fact, that dragon does breathe vaguely acidic poison, and so it is leaving a real mark on the table.
We're gonna need to pair for this table.
Yeah, someone didn't use a coaster, so.
It is the coaster.
Yeah, that's fine.
So we ran into this. We saw this is an issue. Mauricio and I. She goes to gesture towards Mauricio and then remembers mid-gesture that Mauricio has moved off. Mauricio and I discovered a... Mauricio. I really wanted her to be able to tell you this. Mauricio discovered a room that was locked, and there was smooth walls with runes on them and a smooth stone floor. It seemed to be a teleportation room, she discovered. She recognized the runes as specifically teleportation. This was locked, so this means that whomever locked it had a means to either open or close it. So it was teleporting to or from, but whoever would have it must have a key to move in this space.
And there was no sign of Morlock interference in that room.
Yeah,
it was
so you would
clean.
see Ezra. Yeah, it's because he had mentioned teleportation before, and his gears are turning.
So
okay.
Yeah, so there was a teleportation room. We discovered this. We moved a little bit ahead. We were...
I think when you guys were in that room, that's when I found Sela. Only it was not Sela. But I didn't know that at the time. So I woke up from my nap and then I went over and I saw you and you were sort of fouled and chanting in front of this creepy shrine thing, which in hindsight kind of seemed like a red flag, but I remember that earlier you were kind of drawn to one of those things anyway, so I was like, I don't know, maybe she's communing with the thing because holy champion powers or whatever. So I'm like, hey Sela, why are you chanting at this weird thing? And then you were like, oh my god, I don't know, I just got here and woke up and this is how I am. And that seemed really weird because then I was like, but we saw you all fall down the hole. How'd you get out of that hole? And you were like, what hole? So then, I was like, wait a second. If you don't know nothing about the hole, then how are you here? But it seemed just like you. So we were all just kind of like, okay, well, maybe this weird, spooky place did something weird, and this is why our friend is here. And again, saying it out loud, perhaps we should have known better then.
To be clear, this occurred. We were trying to get to the bottom of it. We found on the other side of the wall there was a space where there was a tapestry or a similar sort of shape as to the mural that we had seen in the room with the other with the thieves that had been raised from the dead. But it was made of mud on the sides. We scratched this out. I burned the effigy, and
Good job.
and then Gralgust and his Morlocks
Oh god, that guy.
had come in very upset that we had destroyed the effigy of his ghost queen. He and his weird, gross worm man abomination came in, it attacked us. We dealt with most of them, but Gralgust himself was able to flee.
Of course he was.
There was a wraith of some form that drained energy that was dispelled. Mauricio has a ribbon from it that we have not been able to test. And we went the rest of the way. We chased down Gralgust, who was injured, back into the room. We moved through some fungus. We moved through some fungus that hurt us. Followed Gralgust. We started getting Mauricio specifically started getting symbols from now I assume Otari, writing on the wall and an arrow that seemed to follow the shape of combat, then moved through a wall.
Wait, Otari appeared to you?
Oh, there was greenish writing and an ethereal green ghostly arrow. But not Otari in his hole.
So he can't leave, but he can project things out.
It is perhaps by Belcora binding him here, he is, well, let's call it sneakily, gotten an amount of influence himself over this place. You cannot take and not also in some form give.
Okay.
There was it moved through a wall, a solid wall. Perhaps there was something there before. But then the Minotaur skeleton raised up. Gralgust was able to get away from us. There was a
Sela points to the Minotaur skull thing, like that thing, right?
yes, that one. And then the other.
Okay.
With
Hey,
all
but
this
when
context,
did Sela melt?
with all
I'm
this
so
context,
confused.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
one interjection. With all this context, you can tell that for sure that sounds like that arrow appeared like where Otari passed through the dungeon when he was trapped down there. Because remember that the arrow moved around as though it were fighting something in the Minotaur room.
Right.
So maybe Otari was the one who killed the Minotaur in the first place, and then you ended up fighting its skeleton.
Wait.
Years
So are
later.
you saying this was like the arrow was like the D&D version of like a Dark Souls ghost for like the boss that we're fighting?
I was gonna say a Geralt Witcher vision, but yes, yes,
Somebody
you are correct.
somebody accidentally touched the blood stain.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Who knew
Uh,
there would be Dark Souls influences in this game? Yeah.
Me.
What is this, Dragon Heart? Like,
Lol. But yes, so we decided that it would be best for us to retreat, and the Sela, while she did heal me during this fight.
It was
started-
really weird because I was like still raging, and then Not Sela was like, "Let me touch your face and get you to calm down," and I was like, "This is Sela knows that that's how you lose hands."
She was. It was very touchy,
that
and
was your clue.
it was one of many clues. So it was very touchy. It kept saying, "You can stay, right? We can keep going." It did not do what Sela would do and ask how we are doing. It was always encouraging us to stay. So I started pressuring it, and once I think it realized the game was up, it began to bleed from the eyes and mouth and
It's
ears, a horrific
Yeah.
black ichor, and then slowly dissolved from the inside, from its orifices, until it was a pile of quivering black mass on the ground, to which I
Yeah.
promptly burned with radiant fire.
Yeah.
Those
So
parts that didn't seep through the cracks, yeah.
yeah, so
Uh,
other parts of it did scatter and try and
Yeah.
dissipate. I hit what we hit
They-
what we could, but
They
others.
got all
Sela drains the rest of her tankard of ale. And yeah.
See, now you get it.
You gonna
like,
finish that, Ezrin?
Let's order another round.
We
Actually,
we can get more, and we probably should.
Yeah, but you understand now why I had to do a very thorough investigation of you just to be sure. It was
Yeah.
suspicious how many teeth you have, but also I'm not gonna hold that against you.
I have a normal amount of teeth.
So
Yeah,
Amira-
sure.
you
Emiri,
realize
she can heal herself.
you realize that Brelda Venkervale is standing there because she goes and she's standing there with this like tray of tankards and she's like
Thank you.
shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
And she's
Thank you
like,
so much.
You don't think something like that happened to my boy, do you?
No.
no. And then
your
Ezra is
boy,
immediately thinking about the wolves that we fought, and is like,
Absolutely not.
No.
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 Your boy
I don't
is
think there's a chance of that.
yeah.
Oh.
You
Oh,
see,
okay. She puts the
Kira-
tankards down.
Kira sets the tankard down. I think we have an idea of where your son has gone. What has happened to him, we are not certain.
Oh.
But by merit of this follows the shape of being a lord as the rest of them. But what I can tell you as well, we have seen many a horrible thing down there. We have not seen a red-headed corpse.
Oh. Bless you, Dawn daughter. I'm bless you. And she hurries away.
And once she's gone, more quietly. Yet.
Amiri is like double fisting tankards.
Seriously,
But-
I cannot tell you how amazing Sela was in that room. Like I was toast. I was done. I thought I was gonna hold him back. Nope. I'd be dead.
If we did not leave when
I'd
we
have been
did.
dead without you.
Clean tankards.
We did not leave when we did. So would we. I am out. This occurred, and we had determined that we could not pursue further. Everything else would be leaping into a trap. We made our way back. We saw you.
Good.
I hope you know how much it felt like we were tearing out pieces of our soul to leave that place and not know where you were.
Likewise. We had the message from we didn't know that it was Otari. We had a ghostly writing on the wall saying that you were out, that you were safe. But after such deception, we were not certain. But we knew that if we were to move forward,
Yeah.
it would behoove you no better to find our corpses. Or
Knowing
worse.
that the things can like imitate us adds a whole new level of paranoia to everything we have to consider when we are in that place.
Yes.
Let's not fall down any more cracks, please. We need each other in there. We can't fuck this up.
Okay, that seems like not an unreasonable time to take our break.
Yeah, I can
So-
try and mess with my camera since it seems to be having some issues.
Are we certain this is Sela? Are we certain this is Kelsey?
Sela is just kind of burp, 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 burp. You're like, uh-oh.
You'll never know.
I pull out an actual gun.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. The conversation continues on. If you want to keep talking, that's fine.
Yes.
If you decide that, you're good to sleep on it and get other stuff done in the town, that's fine. We'll see what the party does. See you back here in about 10 minutes. Don't go away. And we're back. All right. The conversation kind of peters out a little bit. You're just so tired and sore and dirty. And Brelda Velkervale comes back and says she's taken the liberty of filling up tubs with warm water for you in your rooms. She had the boy carry up the tubs for you. Pointing to like this human servant kid who's like, okay, yeah, okay, and you have warm water for baths. There's obviously more to be said. There's deeper secrets to be revealed, but maybe that can wait until after you've slept and rested a little bit. So everyone bathes, retires to their rooms. And
Hits that long rest button.
And hits that long rest button. Except, Kira, shortly after you have drifted off into a restless sleep, you lay awake for a while, just your mind going over and over. Partly you're seeing that horrid vision of Sela melting, and you feel like if Maurizio were here, you'd feel better, but Maurizio's still not here, and you're just trying to relax and clear your mind. And the door pops open, and you're like, "Oh, it must be Maurizio," and it turns out that it's Amiri.
I was gonna say, like, Kira would immediately know it's not Mauricio because, she can easily hear him hearing.
I think it's definitely it's definitely that beat of waking up and hoping it's Mauricio, but it's that weird like in and out state where you're like wrong footsteps. And I think you wait like are you knocking or entering?
I feel like there's like that hesitation of like, do I knock? I don't know. Like, and like, so like she kind of does, and then like is just kind of like, ah, whatever, and then like sort of tries to open it quietly, but is like muttering and cursing the entire time, so it's like not at all subtle.
Yeah, I think you see in the moonlight through the open window, Kira in her sleep clothes next to the door holding a scimitar. And it's like, I'm
Oh,
ready.
so you're already up.
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh. Yeah. So hey, remember that thing that we started to talk about like in the dungeon, and then we're like, hey, we should talk about this later when we're not like risking our lives and worried about our friends' lives and all of that. Um yeah, so it's like literally haunting me right now and I can't sleep.
The appearance of the spirits, yes.
Yeah. Is this a bad time though? Cause like I can come back later. Cause it's not like I'm gonna go anywhere.
It's about 1:30 in the morning. It's as good of a time as it's going to be. I'm already up now. Take a seat.
Amiri will sort of plop herself down wherever Kira points.
Yeah, I think there's just like a vanity of sorts.
Yeah.
And there's just like uh points to the chair by it. Okay. You've been experiencing spirits. They are different spirits than we have previously run into. They seemed like familiar to you, and they were like members of the clan, but you have committed a grievous sin. So why you would be connected to, right, I'm cut back. Why you be connected to the clan doesn't make any sense. And also some of them were women.
Yeah. That's about it. Yeah. Um let's see.
Should I ask the hard question out of the gate?
Um give me a second to verify some information as perhaps you spitball some theories maybe.
All right. Well, we have seen the change within ourselves. I think particularly we can point towards Mauricio's unlocking of her psionic abilities, whatever those end up being. That is probably what is plaguing her tonight as well. It was a sudden change, and she has a tendency to put things away until she has a chance to engage with them. And we're back in town, so I suppose that it's her chance. The Oh God. It
Yeah, Kira is quite
the
tired. It's true.
the let me act, fight me. The I'm so awake right now. I'm acting. Leave me alone. The
I understand.
so you have Mauricio has also incurred a change. We are undergoing a grand stress in a place that has to do with legacy and ghosts and the undead, and I would oftentimes be worried about how this that you are being actually haunted. But the thing that you have said is that you recognize them, yes? Not like directly, I know this
yeah.
person, but
Yeah, like I don't know, they had similar, like markings and totems and stuff that like resembled my tribe. But like that
uh,
seems weird.
yes, but why does this seem weird?
I mean, like for all intents and purposes, I'm an outcast. I
We are approaching the hard question time.
Okay, what is the question?
What did you do?
She kind of like this is one of those times where like, you know, usually Amiri has so much energy that it seems impossible that one very compact form is able to hold on to all of it. And like, even though she is on the short side, she never, like, she takes up so much space that she never seems small. But when you ask that question, whatever makes her that way, just kind of all of that disappears and she seems small. And she kind of just like looks at her hands and doesn't say anything.
I say what you did, not what happened. Because you seem to hold on to it as a guilt, not a frustration. You are familiar with rage. But this is not the same, is it?
It all my life I have wanted to be a warrior. And that is not the way for women in the Six Bears clan. And I thought that if I could just show them that I was just as capable, that maybe an exception would be made for me. Now, and at every opportunity, I just kept getting laughed at and mocked, and they couldn't beat me with swords. So they just I was sent on a quest to kill a frost giant. And at the time I thought, I guess stupidly, that maybe they were setting me up for some grand gesture of like, this will test your strength. But now I think they sent me there to die. But I didn't. And like, she like basically points at the big sword that she has. That was the dagger that one of them had. Now it's mine. And I came back. So I was like, and I thought I would be met with cheers and adulation, all of that. And my entire village was empty. And I thought, again, perhaps stupidly at this point, that they had been victim to raiders or any of the number of things up in those mountains that disappear people. So I went looking for them because I thought surely they did not abandon. And then I come upon one of our war raiding parties, and they were making fun of me, mocking me for my idiocy going up into the mountains, and I got very angry. And I tried to wield the sword to give them a piece of my mind, and immediately fell flat on my face, which only made it worse. And then I only saw red. And when I came back to myself, they were all dead. And I don't regret what I did. Because in that moment, if I'm being perfectly honest, instead of feeling guilt or shame, anything of that nature, what I felt was justified and like I did something right. But it is the way of our people that we revere the clan and that the clan sticks together. And anyone who kills another member is damned by our gods. So, I don't know why I would be. I could understand if ancestor spirits were haunting me to do something horrible, you know? I could understand if it was, making things worse, but like helping me? No, that's not how that works. It's not how any of it works. And I don't understand it. And I was fine. I was fine living outside of that and finding my own place and just doing what I needed to do and living my life. And I don't understand what any of this means.
Well, you were killed first.
But Miri just like literally looks like double checks like
They sent you to die and abandoned you. I know very little about how Serenray becomes the Sister Cinder in the Mammoth lands to the Kelidin with the Six Bearers, but what I do know is that warmth is important, and to leave you to the choking and icy hands of winter is as much of an assumption of death as anything else. Beyond this, to whom? Perhaps they do say that you are cut off from the ancestors. What proof do they have?
I don't know. They seem like they knew more things than I do.
I'm sure that it does. Do you know what my proof of Serenrai's presence is?
When you wave your hands around, fire comes out like holy fire.
No,
What?
I believe in her. She is true, she is real, and it is by my devotion that she grants me this. I devote my life to her, and then I am granted power, not the other way around. She is true, yes, but it is my belief that, and she takes her hand and sets it on the scimitar that she had initially wielded, and it illuminates the whole of the room. I had faith before I had strength. I could not have known and have faith. Faith comes before knowledge. It is strength and belief in the absence thereof. Your people have told you that you are cut off from your ancestors. They have told you that it is not a woman's place to be a combatant, but the Serenray, a warrior goddess, I will tell you this. She does not bear the scimitar lightly. Is the Sister Cinder. So by this metric and by this shape, The Kelid and the Mammoth lands have been around for a while. I do not see proof of the faith and upholding of theirs that you are outcast. And perhaps you hold to the idea that the spirits that hold you are the other outcasts. Maybe this is true. Or maybe they are wrong. Or maybe they lied. They already lied once. I do not know, and I cannot pretend to tell you what the truth of the answer is. But I can tell you that the hands that held you, protected, were ones that trusted you in the challenge. You laid a challenge and it upheld it. It forced the creatures you fight to fight you. This is a thing of honor, not penance.
I just didn't want any of them to hurt any of you.
Did you believe that through your efforts, you could save the rest of us from harm?
And that last fight where I had gone down and you guys almost died too. I kept thinking I was only stronger, and I was so scared that maybe the village elders were right, and that I had no business being here with you and wielding this weapon, and I should have been doing something like giving life or healing or whatever other things they expect women to do that I just found too boring to pay attention to. But
I will take that in grace. To take upon the blessing of healing and the burden of destruction, first I had to watch everybody that I loved die. I lost my village too. I was powerless and young, and those who would try to save it were also the people who kept me afterwards. It is not failure, but perhaps it did give you strength.
well, the next time I was in a similar situation, suddenly those ghost dudes manifested. So, like, maybe I did something right.
I agree, and most particularly, you wanted strength, and in the trials of the six bears, it seems that those that connected to you, be they outcasts of your ancestors through, said, prove it. And it looks like, and she kind of pans her face over towards the Minotaur skull she's been carrying around. You did. You hold on to your sword tonight. Sheath it. Hold on to your sword. And meditate. I ask on the, not what people have told you that you cannot do, not what has been kept from you, but what you were taught about your ancestors. The truths of them, the legends. Not every time somebody said, and this is not you, or this is not your place. What you felt when you were told of stories of valor, of honor, of defense, of strength. Take this and sleep. It is said that a dream is the sister of death. And if your ancestors are out there and connected to you, if you are very fortunate, they will speak to you. And if they do not, you must still choose to have faith that they will appear. Faith before strength. believing before receiving. You can
Alright.
stay in here if you like.
I mean, that would be cool, because, you know, Merciel's over at Rin's place right now.
I'm going to talk to her about that in the morning. I don't have whatever sauce in me for that. Yes, you see that she kind of like taps. Rest yourself. And we will see what dreams bring you.
Thank you.
Donkey.
Thank you.
You see that she takes her hand and kind of like, in a way that is, she is only comfortable being diminutive in this specific moment, kind of like ruffles her head a bit. Don keep you, daughter of Cinder.
And also with
Don't just go to bed. Yeah.
So good. So good. Oh my
And then
God.
she goes to sleep.
Okay. All right. Sure enough, the night passes uneventfully, and you, the two of you, you were up fairly late, so you kind of sleep a little later than you might have intended. And we are gonna...
Kira gets up, does her prayers, goes right back to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Mary's just in full honk shoe.
It's just strictly mechanical at that point. Like,
Yeah.
this is my programming. I get up, I meditate, I do my prayers, I go back to bed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to shift over to Ezrin and Sela. How did the night pass for you two? Ezrin, I suspect your mind was pretty active because you've definitely awakened with your mind very active.
Well, I mean, I basically did the D&D version of doom scrolling on my phone by casting a ritual spell of identify on the lockpicks because I just couldn't sleep initially.
Right. So those are called shadowed lockpicks, and let me just read you what they do. While using the tools in an area of dim light or darkness, you can manipulate the tools with your shadow rather than your own hand, allowing you to attempt to disable a trap or pick a lock as though you were 5 feet away from your actual location. If you fail on that check to use the tools while your shadow is holding them, the tools fall to the ground and then they can't be used that way until the following dawn. Author's note: this is not how Otari's tools worked in real life, obviously. This is only for the conjuration of this particular fantasy world. I just want to make that clear.
Fantastic. So yes, he would do that, satisfied that he knows what he needs to know about it for the conversation that he intends to have it tomorrow, because and then he would do his best to sleep.
Okay.
What about you, Sela? How did you sleep?
Yes. I suspect Sela is up and ready to face the day as soon as Ezrin gets down in the morning.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah, only through years of training with the paladins that taught her everything was she able to pretty much, nope. Do I have time to sleep? Do I need to sleep? I'm out. Just as common as training at this point, finding the sleep you need when you have a chance to take it.
Right.
That said, how restful it is, well, not particularly, but that makes it easy to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah. And Ezrin is the first person you see in the morning. You remember Ezrin saying kind of glowing things about Sela, saving his life and everything. How do you feel about that, Sela?
Complicated.
And Ezrin, Sela is the first person you see.
Would actually say that he doesn't. because he is in the common room, maybe tucked in a corner where there isn't like a lot of sort of like line of sight to what he's doing, and he is absolutely reading the book on horrible, awful necromancy that
Oh
they
yeah,
found.
he's pouring over that book. Oh yeah.
So Sela will be the first person that I see when she comes and maybe like interrupts my reading if she chooses to do so.
Specifically, Sela goes to the bar for gets a mug of tea, brings it over, and interrupts Ezrin by literally putting the tea between the book and his face.
He would sort of like drop it like in a startled way. Oh, tea.
I thought even if you had tea, it would have probably gone cold by now. Morning.
Morning. Thank you. Gosh, you're nice.
Someone has to keep an eye on all of you.
And yeah, you do just that. You're like, I don't know. Is this weird to say? Like if Kira is our mother, you're like our silent father. You know what I mean? Or no. Actually, even better. You're that older brother or sister that chases after the younger siblings who are acting all crazy, like doing whatever, and you know they're about to do something stupid, and you're just there.
Does this
When
mean I
they
get to put you
fall.
in a headlock if you misbehave?
I mean, after yesterday, you know how you sort of like give people a count, which I've seen you do to at least me, maybe others. Yeah,
Others too.
Okay, cool. I was starting to wonder. Yeah, I'll give you a count. You get an extra long count after yesterday. Just you get
Thank
a freebie.
you.
Do you want to put me in a headlock? Is that
No. Not at the moment.
Okay.
I will take a rain check on that.
Yeah, you get at least one freebie.
All right. We'll remember that.
I may regret that. And you see him sort of
You're definitely gonna.
great.
Author's note, he definitely is.
So how are you? And you would see him sort of like, he's not trying to hide that he was reading the book, but he definitely is sort of like not drawing your attention to it. I mean, he would put it on the table in it, but it's like, it's there. It would be noticeable by you.
Yeah. Could be better, I think. You're going to still talk to Moreland at the bookstore, right?
I mean, I have to. We have to get that book at some point, but I think that there's probably far more in that book that would be helpful than just needing it as a component in some sort of ritual to remove a barrier. I don't know. I'll just have to see it, but like, I mean, it's me. I just if I don't know, then I don't know what to do. So I need to find out.
Would it be all right if I tagged along?
Honestly, I would appreciate that. I intend to tell them about their hero, who is a tortured dead soul, and I feel like you could break that news better than me.
Well, I just had some questions for them, but maybe. You know what? I can give it a try and you can come in and clutch if I manage to screw that one up, right?
Oh, I mean, if I come in and try and fix sort of a delicate conversation that you've messed up, it'll be more like I'll just be dumping acid on a pile of glass at that point, I think. I'm not well, never mind. I don't think it's necessary to state the obvious this early in the morning.
Ezrin.
You have your moments.
Ezrin acknowledges Sela's superior charisma score. Yeah.
But yeah, I want to tell them about Otari. I want to show them the tools. I want them to understand their significance and the significance of the book. And I want to see if they might trust me enough to let me look at the book. And also, I really want to see if they have a prestidigitation spell. Yesterday was just bad.
Yeah, it was not fun.
But specifically, we smelled bad. And while that bath was glorious, then the bath smelled bad. And I just,
That is how baths work.
yeah, I've seen people use the prestidigitation spell. I was like, well, that's just a waste of like magical energy and learn like, well, you could have learned something more useful. And I was wrong.
You owe some people an apology?
I mean, it was silent judging, so I don't think I actually owe anyone an apology, but I take your point.
All right. So
I want to ask what they know about werewolves, so.
the two of you continue having this conversation as you're heading over to Odd Stories. Odd Stories opens fairly early. Morlabent doesn't sleep all that much, I guess, or maybe he's just a morning person. But like he's there to greet you as soon as you approach. He opens the door. He says, so good to see you, Ezrin and Sela. Was it Sela?
Yes.
Wonderful. Please come in. Come in.
Thank you so much.
I brought pastries, and if you would allow it, then he actually would have brought like a basket for a brunch setup.
Fish cakes from the Crook's Nook?
Sure.
Okay. Yep, fish cakes. And they're like, my favorite. Come in, come in. Tell me, you raided the tower recently, right? I heard there was some commotion. Word gets around it's a small town, that you came in dire straits. I hope you're all right.
All in one piece.
That is an accurate statement. And we learned some things, and I would love to tell you all about them over some fish cakes.
Oh, perfect.
And dear God, tell me there's a scone in there, Eric. There's got to be more than just fish cakes.
They brought fish cakes and scones. Carl shows up. He's like, I like fish cakes and scones.
Eric,
hey.
Eric, I love you. I'm never going to brunch with you in my entire life. If fish cakes and scones is your idea of brunch, my stomach is running up my throat.
Faye, well, we're going to take you to brunch here in Seattle, and we're going to see how you react. Anyway.
That's great. If it's fish cakes and scones, I'm fighting you with my hands.
Fight me over.
No.
Fight me over a crab cake Benedict, Fable. That's a fish cake.
Crab cake Benedicts are pretty good. Well, we'll see. Anyway. Yeah, you have an assortment of pastries, including fish cakes and scones and whatever else.
Yes.
Fish cakes are just popular here in Otari, and that's what the Crook's Nook makes. Okay.
I am just going to headcanon that they're crab cakes, and that makes it less horrific to me.
Sure, if you like.
So I would sort of like warm him up by telling him a little bit about the tale, and I would actually start with and we found this book because I know he loves books.
Carlos is way more into stories of adventure. Morlabent is way more interested in the book that you found.
Yeah, I'm probably trying to play to both parties. And so I would sort of describe what the book does without actually getting into the contents of it too deeply. But
ooh,
yeah, I know, but I
gotta keep the audience hooked.
Of souls. Ooh.
And I so want to have a conversation with you about that. But speaking of souls, we met one.
Oh, yeah.
That is important to this town. And I will pull out the lockpicks and just sort of set them on the table.
Morlabent looks at the lockpicks. Carl looks at the lockpicks. Morlabent goes, are those what I think they are? And Carl says, I don't know what you think those are, but they look very dark. And Morlabent's like, are those legitimate? Did you find Otari Vashti's body?
Yeah, and his ghost gave us permission to do them.
Truly? You met his spirit?
Yup.
We did.
Huh. Oh, this is fascinating. Did you did he attack you? Did you cooperate with him? Did you speak with him? Wait, let me get my
Oh.
notes. And he goes and grabs a series of scrolls so that he can start writing things down.
You can copy mine. I have them here.
Carlos just reaches over and takes it on the fish cake, and he looks at those lockpicks like,
we were actually getting attacked by minions of Belcora, where we ended up falling.
Belcora Haravex, Morlevent says. The
Mhm.
Ghost Queen, the sorceress of old, of legend.
Yup.
In the rotting flesh.
Huh.
We didn't see her. There was anyway. Regardless,
Figure of speech.
Otari's ghost came to our aid. As it turned out, where we ended up falling was right next to what remained of his remains.
Well, Carl says, he was a hero of legend. I would expect such a thing of a hero. And Morlement's like, yes, fascinating, yes. Tell me everything. Tell me every detail.
I will tell you every detail. I'm also happy to share my notes with you where they are all fastidiously documented. But there's one thing in particular that is the most critical part that I have to talk to you about.
His quill pauses. Yes? What is that?
These lockpicks are just one of 4 important elements to the Rose Guard, correct?
Yes. Well, I mean, the Rose Guard are legendary heroes of the town, patron saints, as it were, without actually being saints. That's a whole aspect of religion that I don't really care about. And Carl's like, just... And Morlevent says, well, yes, they're paragon figures of the town who are historically important. And yes, I'm sure their icons, which you can see in the museum, are like the anchors of the town, as it were, hypothetically, thematically, shall we say.
Well,
wow,
here's the
I never
thing.
expected to see the lockpicks in real life. I've seen the simulacra 1,000 times, but the legitimate real thing. And he reaches out and his shadow touches the lockpicks and they rattle a little bit, right? And he's like, oh.
So
You don't think you've ever seen Morlevent quite as excited.
I knew he would be. That's why we're here. Your designation of them as saints is perhaps, while not literally true, in spirit, more true than you realize. Because they used their icons to protect everyone in the future from Belcora's evil. These icons are part of something, a ritual, a spell. I don't know yet, but they are binding her in place.
The magic of heroic spirits. Fascinating.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you have one of them, correct?
You mean the Thresholds of Truth, Zarmavdian's spellbook? Yes, I do. He glances back at the place where it's under glass. And he says, you think that would be of assistance to you in your quest?
Otari kind of told us it would be.
If, when we are ready to face Belcora and hopefully finally destroy her, according to Otari, we will need all of the icons in order to reach her.
Yes, of course.
In addition to this, we found fascinating magical elements in the dungeon, including teleportation magic, more than just what's in this horrific book, but like so much that I don't yet understand, but I think may be the key to protecting this town from more of the undead attack that you experienced just days ago.
Teleportation magic, you say?
Yes.
That was what the tower used to transport monsters here.
I suspect so, but I don't fully comprehend it myself. And will you permit me to read his book? I suspect it must contain notes on what they encountered in there, and it may be the secret to us continuing our quest.
Ezrin, I would be more than honored to assist you in these investigations. I shall.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Absolutely. And he stands up and he almost falls over in his excitement. and he scurries over to the glass. And Carl is like, I haven't seen him quite so worked up in quite some time.
Well, I mean, I'm all aflutter myself, so I can only imagine how he's feeling.
And Mortal Bent comes back and he's got the book in his hands. It's an old dusty tome. I'll just put the art on the screen there.
Fantastic.
Now, before we do anything, before we open it, can you help me? I want to make sure that opening the book or using it in some way won't interfere with the barrier that is containing Belcora. Do you?
This is a good point.
I know how to identify magic items, but I don't know about this higher ritual magic.
Well,
or maybe this isn't even ritual magic. Maybe it's something else.
The ghost told you that this barrier was still in place.
Yes.
I've already referred to the book many times myself. I've made an extensive study of it as best I can. So if opening the book were going to break the barrier, it probably would have been broken already. So
that's a relief.
I'm sure there's some other mechanism that we haven't yet discovered that will break the barrier. But in the meantime, he holds the book out to Ezrin. I entrust this into your care.
And as he hands it to me, I'll make sure that my fingers sort of like touch his in that sort of not accidental way. And I will look deeply into his eyes and say, also, do you have the prestidigitation spell? I would really like a copy.
Truly.
We could cut there if you want.
He's like, oh, do I? Okay. So this seems like a good place to cut. We're a little bit after 8 p.m., so we're past our runtime. Things are afoot. You're resolving some information and putting together some leads and taking the fight to Belcora. The scope of the adventure is becoming clear. And well done, everybody. We'll call it there, and we'll be back next week. I have been Eric Scott to be the DM of this campaign and others on the channel. Please come join our Discord. If you put !Discord in the chat, it will give you a link to get to our Discord. We talk about this campaign and others. We also have the Abomination Vaults Codex entries channel open for everyone who has the Dungeon Scrawlers role on the Discord. So if you join the Discord, grab the Dungeon Scrawlers role, and then you can go and look at the list of NPCs and lore that they've learned so far about the campaign. I try to keep that updated. I updated a bunch this last weekend, but there's more to come, and it'll help you keep track of where everything is going on this adventure. Reminder to check out my Nepal campaign, !Nepal. I am most of the way toward funding my goal, but like if you would like to lower your tax burden, this is a good way to do it. In helping people in a faraway country get medical care that they wouldn't otherwise get to. And on that note, I will pass it over to Fable. Take it away, Fable.
Hello, I have been Fable. I have been your iconic cleric Kira. And in any story, the thing that really sets the stakes of an adventure, of an adventuring party, of groups, and the thing that makes it more than just a consistent bottle of world building is the moments where the characters, the people in between, get these beats and moments to be people. People are imperfect. People had a hard time with everything that happened. People are confused. People have to talk, whether they want to or not. So these moments where you get where you have campfire stories or interruptions of sleep or someone overhearing somebody else going away from the party to have a little private cry in the middle of an adventure are really what make characters characters, as opposed to just the random avenues through which you see the worlds of the story. That's how you connect with them. That's how they become people. If you would like that kind of writing advice, world building, or anything of the sort, hit exclamation point Fable to take a look at my Ko-Fi. I'll have a Patreon up by the end of by this weekend, actually, where there will be a sharing of information, both in terms of writing advice, some video essays and audio essays about like narrative themes and ways to delve into your world. And if you are either in the state of Texas or want to come to the state of Texas, I'm also a LARP director. I am the story director of Dystopia Rising Texas. Every month we have an event if you would like to brave the zombie apocalypse with me and see what stories that we can tell together. I'd be very excited to have you, and I will only traumatize you a little bit.
Exclamation point dystopia. We'll get you all that information.
And with that, I will pass it off to Kelsey.
Hi, I have been Kelsey. I've been your iconic paladin Sela who's going through it. But, so is everyone, right? You can find me on Instagram at Antique Cipher, which sometimes I update. It's where I post art occasionally. That is all. Take it away, Jen.
Hello, friends. My name is Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. Tonight I had the honor and privilege of playing your iconic barbarian, Amiri, who had a lot of feelings and things to process, and that was a real good time. You can find me on the internet at savagesparrow.com, patreon.com/savagesparrow for my artwork, and I'll also be at Con Nuga this weekend. If you happen to be in Tennessee and looking for an anime con to spend your weekend. Take it away, Benjamin.
Hello, I've been Benjamin, your iconic wizard, Ezrin, who is definitely not considering some poor choices as it relates to dark tomes that he is reading over tea. Please support all these beautiful people, and thank you so much for being here tonight.
And thank you, everyone. Once again, come check us out on the Discord. We shall be back next week with more Abomination Vaults. Thank you for coming with us on this glorious campaign of mystery and darkness and body horror, and it's been great having all of you. Especially thanks to raiders who have showed up, and if any of you are still around, extra call out to you. We love to see you, and thanks.
And we hope to see you again.
Yeah,
right.
Stick around. Click that follow button.
Yeah, the follow button, the heart button, but not like the broken heart button, just the heart button. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the
We're
one.
here
Get
every Wednesday.
notified.
We're here every Wednesday. Come see us again.
All right. See you all later. Until next week, stay scrawly.
Good night.